Hello. Well, welcome to CTE aiming. This is the traditional side of things, and I'm going to pretty much show you what has to be done. Now, there's been a lot of emails and coming back to me, basically how to stand, pivots, and everything else. This particular video will show you that there's no pivoting. It's just stepping into the shot. And I'm going to show you how to stand and look at the shot so you could aim for yourself and get a feel for it. Essentially, what you're doing is lining up the cue ball, and you're going to be right in the middle of the cue ball, almost like your stick's going to be in the middle of your cue ball. You're actually standing in the middle of the cue ball, and I'm going to show you again how it's set up. Actually, there's a pro, that's C.J. Wiley, and if you look at some of his tapes on video, he could explain it just like I am. The stick could be put in right next to your right between your eyes, pretty much parallel to your belly button, and that's where you're going to stand. The cue ball is behind you. Now, some people like to do left leg. You could actually stand and then twist your body. All you have to do is get into the position. But what you're doing now is, there you go, right there in the middle. That's your position. That's where you stand. What you're doing now is aiming the cue ball to the opposite edge of the object ball. So that's the middle of the cue ball to the opposite edge of the cut. So when you stand, put your legs almost right between the cue ball, stand and then bend down. Obviously, you need to bend your hip out of the way. And then you just have to shoot. There's no pivoting. There's nothing else you can do. Of course, you could use a little bit of English one way or another. Here I am. I'm measuring the middle of that stick to the cue ball. The cue ball, I'm visualizing it opposite edge. So in this case, it's going to be on the right side of the object ball. So that's the middle of the cue ball to the opposite edge of the object ball, wherever you shoot. And all you got to do is sweep in, keeping on that same angle. You don't twist your stick. You keep your fingers, your front hand, 5 or 7 inches away from the cue ball, and you'll be fine. And we're going to go over this because this is the most important thing. The stance is critical. Middle, always in the middle. Stand right in the middle of that cue ball. Now, like I said, you could some people like to put their left leg out. If it's a little awkward for you in terms of standing, try different positions that you could do. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to put on the cue ball from the middle of the cue ball, that's basically center line cue ball, to the opposite edge of the object ball. In this particular case, it's pretty much straight, but you still have to go the opposite edge. So you come down, keeping at the same level. You're not bending one way or another. You're coming straight for the cue ball, right to center cue ball. And that's where you're going to hit, center cue ball. So there you go, right in the middle, looking straight ahead. Now that gives you the position to shoot the ball. And all you got to do is basically hit the ball dead center. And it's already lined up. In other words, your body is already lined up for that shot. So no matter what angle it's at, and you're going to be getting these balls in. And it can be done. It's just a matter of practicing it. And it's something that you could do. So let's get started and show you some shots. So here we have the 10 ball. I believe it's going into the right side pocket. So when I'm aiming, I'm in the middle of that cue ball. I'm aiming for the inside of the 10 ball right there. So that's the middle of the cue ball to the object ball right edge. And I'm hitting it right in the center. Yeah, it goes to a nice ball. I think it's going to the right, but let's take a look at it. So if whatever side you hit, if it's going to the left, going to the right, it's always the opposite. So if I'm aiming at the middle of the cue ball, that's my visual. That's not what you hit, but that's my visual. I'm already lined up. So I'm in the middle of the cue ball. All I'm doing is hitting center cue ball. And it's going to go in. You're going to see shot after shot after shot, and most of these shots, a lot of them are very similar, very same. almost a little bit of difference, but you'll see the difference. Now here's the 9-ball can't go forward because of the object ball is in the way, so I'm going to go to the left. So I'm standing behind the cue ball, aiming at the opposite edge, which is the left side of the object ball, hitting center. I'm already automatically in position. As I mentioned to you, center line, and then center cue ball. I followed it a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so now you get the hang of it, and you'll start getting these shots in. And these are tough shots. These are not easy shots. The object ball is just a little bit next to the dot. Cue ball is just right behind it, about a foot or so. Again, depending on the on where it's going, I think it's going to the right. But let's say it's whatever it is, it's opposite. So I'm standing behind the cue ball, looking at the edge of the object ball, the one that's not being sent. So I was looking on the right side edge. And here's a shot straight up. So I'm standing, just like my body's right in the middle of that cue ball. And what I'm doing is I'm just stepping into it. And you're just not moving your hand one way or another. There's no pivoting. You're right center, and you're automatically in. Same shot. So I'm looking at the middle of the cue ball. My visual is center cue ball to right object ball edge. And you're in. Now you have to practice getting your body into the right position. If you feel a little awkward in terms of position, try going with your left leg first. Maybe it's a little easier until you get used to the position. But the stick should be almost center line, almost like where your belly button is. Just line it up, and then just come down straight. It's just strange that the position. Once you get that position, you just have to shoot. Your visual aiming, your visual is going to be, in this case, to the left side of the two balls, because I believe it's going to the right, to the left side pocket. So all you do is center. That's it. Shows you how really easy it is. And you can get a lot of shots like this in there. 8-ball's going straight up. So you're lining up right there. That cue ball's being lined up, middle of the cue ball. You come in straight. Now, don't forget your body's in position. All you have to do is hit it center. Now, you could try different techniques to how you get a feel on it, but at the end of the day, you do a little bit of practice. You could start moving on these shots one after the other, boom, boom, boom. So I'm shooting. I'm looking at the cue ball. I'm in the center. All I'm doing is visually going for the left side of that object ball, and then hitting center. Same shot. Lining up to the left side of the two. I'm lining up, and then I'm putting it away. Same shot. Lining up to the middle of the cue ball, to the left side of the object ball. You're already in position. Boom. We could do this all day, and you're never going to miss. If the position is right, if you're standing behind the cue ball in the right spot, you're just lined up. You can just shoot one after the other like this all day long, and you see how hard some of these shots are. Very hard. Once you get that position in, and a little bit of practice, you can make these all day long. And again, these are tough shots that you would, sometimes say, well, see, I think I hit that a little fast. But that's okay. Listen, if you miss a shot or two, you go back to the drawing board, see what you're doing, make sure your body's in the right position. Sometimes, it's a little awkward sometimes because, you're not used to shooting like this. But, the good thing is there's no special method. It's just standing behind the cue ball, everything center line, center cue ball. All you got to do is just visually aim for the left side of the opposite side of the object ball of where it's going, and you're in. So basically I'm looking at the cue ball, middle of the cue ball to the right side, right there. That's what I'm looking at. And once I come in, since I'm in the middle of the cue ball, my position is already done. All I'm doing is bringing it up. Same shot. My position is done. I'm in the middle. My legs are spread out, the middle of that cue ball. I'm coming in, and I'm putting it away. All you have to do is just concentrate on the cue ball, the center of the cue ball to the opposite edge of the pocket of where the ball is going. And once you can do that, then you should be clear sailing. Now, a lot of these shots are short, so not all the shots have to be short. Some shots could be long, and I'm not sure if it's in this part or maybe another part, but there is some shots you can make where the ball is a little far away. So, you have to work on that. I'll usually do these shots because it shows you kind of where I'm aiming and how I'm hitting it. So you could you kind of get a handle on it, how it would work, and you could practice like this just to get a feel for it. But once you get your stance properly behind the cue ball, and do that line, like I said, like line in the middle, you just step up, and you could start shooting like this, relatively easy. I'm lined up to the right side of the object ball. My position is behind the cue ball. All I'm doing is coming in center cue. Now, of course, you could use a little English, but if you use too much, it's going to make the ball go different directions. So you just got to be a little careful on it. But like I said, for practice, anything's good. When you're first looking at this, it's the visual that you got to get. So center cue ball to the right object ball edge. But since you're in position, and again, if you feel it's a little uncomfortable or your position seems a bit off, just go back again and look at the cue ball. Look at the visual from the middle of the cue ball to the right object ball edge, and you could get it done. Whether it's shooting from the left side, right side, it's all the same thing. Just shoot the opposite edge of the ball. Should be no problem. You're basically coming in center cue ball, and you're just dropping one after the other. So it's a good thing. Now, yeah, look, here's a nice shot right in the middle of the table. So if you're going to the right, your visual is to the left. I believe it's going to the right side corner. So I'm aiming for the. I'm basically aiming for the right side of the object ball if it's going to the right, and then you're putting it away. Yeah, you have to put this, go to a pool hole and practice a few shots. I mean, if you miss, you keep on figuring it out. What's wrong? Your stance is important. The stance is everything. If you're standing in the right position with the stick right in the middle, where you're almost like your belly button is right in front of that cue ball, you just aim, and you'll be like this. You want to shoot at the other side, you could do that too. Same side, no problem. So when you get any shots like this, and now here, look, this is a nice shot. This is a different shot. The cue ball's on the dot. So if you're in a long shot like this, you're still doing the same thing. If you're looking at the right side corner, you're aiming towards your visual is basically on the right side of the object ball, and there you go. And if it's the other direction, so it's the left side of the object ball, and there you go. long as as long as your body's in the right spot, you should have no bearing one way or another. Just the center cue ball. And that's a really nice shot it's a long shot. It's a tough shot. So these are the kind of things that you could do, and you'll become a fairly strong player in this kind of thing. And you could do improve your game by 20 or 30%. And you could do it at any shot, short shots, long shots. Just like I said, just keep at it. Try to get that middle cue ball thing straightened out. Learn how to stand. Make sure your fundamentals are good in terms of keeping your stick level, your hand is solid in terms of your bridge, and things like that. Because if you don't have the right fundamentals, you're not going to make any shots. So keep that in mind. The fundamentals are key in shooting pool. See, there you go, another miss. All right, it happens. If I made every shot, I'd be in the circuit with the other professional players. But in any case, like I said, these are good shots to learn. CTE definitely does work. This is a form of CTE. I mean, you hear a lot of stuff on CTE, all kinds of weird things in terms of relationship to table and parallax views and all kinds of stuff. I try to keep it as very simple as possible, so you can really get an understanding. And I think this is a pretty simple way of shooting. I mean, it's just really almost relatively easy in terms of learning how to do this stuff. And it's so simple. Just